Welcome to the Relish Lifestyle Podcast. Amazingly, this is the first episode of our third series. So we're cracking through our series.
And what a one to start with.
I know.
All things festive.
Feeling festive.
Exactly.
It does feel like it's suddenly here.
Yeah.
As in, it wasn't Christmas, and now it's Christmas.
I know, exactly. And I had a nice walk. So we've been having a Christmas market through Chichester yesterday and today. And I went through and they had a brass band playing Christmas carols. And thankfully the weather's nice. So there were lots and lots of people and lots of stands, and it felt really Christmassy.
I think the lights are really nice this year.
Yeah, they are beautiful. Really
nice.
Good.
So it definitely feels festive. And that's got us thinking about kind of what everyone has a different tradition or different recipes for Christmas or ones that have been passed down and all that kind of stuff, don't they?
Yeah.
So food is sort of almost, I know it is very important religiously, but I would say then it's food element is seriously important, isn't it?
Yeah, well, everyone goes all out. I mean, they're cooking things that they don't normally cook, or some people don't even cook the rest of the year.
No.
And then they're trying to attempt to cook a turkey or a huge Christmas lunch.
I would say, I mean, for us, we have certain recipes that we go back to that are Christmas specific ones.
Yeah.
And there's a particular person that I would say that we go through her books more than anyone else at this time of year, I would have said. Yeah,
I think, and I know you're going to say Delia, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I think she did. I think she was so good at doing things step by step, but also bringing in new things, new flavours, new ways of doing things. But her basic cooking techniques were based on the classic way of doing things, which, you know, that's what you kind of need rather than being overly confused by things.
Well, I also think for her, what was quite clever is she tries to take the pressure out of it by taking you through step by step. So you aren't thinking, oh God, I've now got to roast a turkey for 100 people and a roast potatoes and 18 veg and But she kind of breaks it down going, well, actually, it's all doable. If you do it this way, you'll be fine. There isn't going to be a mad rush in the last 10 minutes. So I think she has done that brilliantly.
Yeah, and I think probably before her, or maybe not right before her, but, you know, I was reading something, you know, we're going to talk about it, but the Marmite vegetable of Christmas Day, of course, is the Brussels sprout, which is available a lot more now than it was, you know, years ago. It was just really over Christmas. But, you know, she was sort of bringing in new things, wasn't she? And, I think, so what I was going to say, sorry, but I was going to say that I think up until then, things were overcooked. This is what I was reading. You know, the Brussels sprout was sort of known to be that sort of horrible, soggy, kind of yellowy coloured vegetable that had been boiling for hours. But once Delia started kind of coming on board, I think, and we had her as a TV cook and everything, because she was explaining things and things step by step, we started to understand those things more. So suddenly the Brussels sprout took on a new level as well. Yeah.
I think what's amazing with her book, and obviously it is now I think it's in the dictionary, isn't it? Delia effect, basically, is when she did obviously her first Christmas book back in the 1990, I think it was. She obviously talked about the cranberry.
That's right, yeah.
And then suddenly, you know, they couldn't get a hold of cranberries.
No.
And I think she's been awarded like things from like Cranberry Growers Association in Canada because sales in Britain sort of skyrocketed because of her. And it's quite interesting because I've been taking a quick look at some of the things that she managed to like increase in sales.
Oh yeah, interesting.
So cranberries, she actually used them again in her winter collection, which amazingly was the fastest or one of the fastest selling books of the 1990s.
Wow.
Over 2 million copies were sold. Yeah, her winter collection. But yeah, apparently cranberry sales rose 200% because of Delia.
Whoa.
Yeah, so if you're a farmer, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
The cranberry one. We had it we've got one, I think. She called it her little gem. It was like an omelette pan, which was from basically quite a small manufacturer in England. I'm in Lancashire. And they were doing sort of 200 a year to like nearly 100,000 every couple of months because of Delia. Also, apparently, you know, she did her How to Cook. This was sort of in the late 90s into the 2000s. She did 3 She's book 1, book 2, book 3, which is sort of how to cook. Anyway, apparently egg sales, because the picture on the front cover was of white eggs, apparently egg sales went up 10% because of Delia.
Well, she did a whole section, I think, because it was the step-by-step. She did a whole section on eggs. And she did, wasn't it the joke, Charlie, about she was teaching us how to boil an egg.
Boil an egg. But, you know, I went to university and there were people that would have struggled.
Yeah. I think there are a lot of people who struggle.
You know, to boil an egg. So we sort of mock it, but actually, I do think one of her other recipes was about eggs, poached eggs, which I think everyone's a bit scared of because it feels a bit, again, hasty and a bit last minute. Delia's one is you sort of, and I have done it and it works. Obviously, it does because it's Delia, but you bring a frying pan rather than a saucepan to like a simmer, and you crack your eggs in and you leave it for a minute. Then you take it off the heat, leave it for 10 minutes, and then you just scoop it out. And that's actually, there's none of this spinning the water or like putting vinegar in or creating a whirlpool and all that. Delia just says, no, this is it.
I think a lot of chefs, if you want commercial chefs or professional chefs, I should say, they do spin it gently. But what you have to use is incredibly fresh eggs. Yeah.
I mean, it's just incredible, really, that sort of the, I don't know, the effect of one thing she said suddenly can boost sales of eggs, 10%. I mean, that's a huge amount.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think she did. I mean, she was a forerunner, wasn't she, for all of that?
Yeah. I mean, she's done things like skewers when she said it was, you had to use that to check if your cake was baked, 35% increase in skewer sales. It's incredible. Flour, she recommended a particular flour and it went up 500%. So it's sun-blushed tomatoes, salt. I mean, she's done it all.
Yeah.
But apparently, Delia's egg one, 10% increase, was actually 1.3 million eggs a day were being sold extra because of Delia.
Wow.
Because she told you how to boil, poach and all sorts. So quite incredible. But obviously the one that I've actually got a copy in front of me and it's got a wonderful kind of red ribbon, green background and a picture of Delia as sort of the gift tag, but it's Delia's Christmas and obviously it's a very well-thumbed book, which is always a good sign. And you've got even a couple of stains in some of these pages, but it means it's been well used. But
I think it was her when I was doing Christmas cakes, because if you remember, for a couple of years I was baking them and selling them, and Christmas puddings, and so the house smelled Christmas from about October onwards. But it was her that kind of, her inspiration really was the ones where you did the cake and you tied it with ribbon, because some people don't want all the icing.
No.
And you had the glazed fruits and nuts on the top, which, it's beautiful when you've done it and you've glazed them because they look so jewelled.
Yeah.
But that was definitely inspiration from her. I mean, some of them I did flat ice, but I didn't. Yeah.
I mean, she's, like we said, we go through this book most Christmases and we'll pick, things for me, like recipes that she does. And I think it is in this one, which is a chicken liver pate.
Yeah.
That we like. We've done the truffles in here. I've done the champagne jellies. I'm sure you have as well. It's just a really good book. But some of the things, this one, sorry, I'm just having a quick look. It's the truffle torch, and it uses liquid glucose.
That was really hard to get at the time.
Yeah, you had to go to a chemist, but they were running out. So, that just shows.
But of course, I would say actually that is one recipe. I did do it and I did find liquid glucose. But of course, there are many wonderful recipes to make that kind of thing without having to use that.
Yeah.
So.
But some of these are
But I do realise, Charlie, that quite often now, because quite often professional chefs that are running restaurants are doing some great videos and behind the scenes and showing you how to cook. And it is amazing when you watch them in their kitchens, what they use that we don't.
Oh, yeah.
And I think they do have things like that. They'll have like powdered starch or something.
Yeah.
Things like that. They'll add things. And you're thinking, well, that's not in our normal kitchen repertoire.
No.
I know. That always slightly intrigues me, and I always think it's very different when you're in that environment than it is actually the way we.
But that's I think why Delia is so popular.
Yeah,
because you could cook like that at home.
Yeah,
you didn't really need a lot of other than suggesting get a skewer, which I'm sure quite a lot of people already had. But she's not suggesting you have to go and buy like a sous vide machine or anything like that.
Okay, so what's one of your favourite Christmas recipes from Delia?
Well, I do like the cranberry relish.
Yeah.
Obviously, is up there.
Yeah, it is a good one, actually.
Yeah, it is a good one. I'd also say, I mean, it's just all of her things in there, but she also does, I've done the champagne jellies, which I think are inspired. I think they're brilliant pudding. And also she does the truffles that are dipped in chocolate, nuts and things. I've done those a few times and they're yummy.
When you were little, I used to get you to do those, and we used to sit there and chocolate. Because actually, you know what?
They melt.
They melt, so you have to handle them very lightly. And it was funny because when you're little, of course, you're
not
warm,
my forte.
Warm hands. It was like.
What's quite funny, I've just quite sweet in this book. I've just flicked it open to the front cover, and you've got like your list of what we need to buy and what we might cook and stuff. So it's quite. I mean, I think that's the thing with certain books like this. They'll be marked. You know, we've got even corners pulled down in some of these.
Yeah.
What about you?
And they are definitely smudges.
Yeah. What about you? Have you got any Delia faves?
Yeah, I think you probably mentioned it. I mean, I do think I probably follow one of her Christmas cake recipes. I've done several of her Christmas cake recipes. Not that we eat those Christmas cake these days. And you, in fact, Charlie, you've taken on the mantle of that the last few years. But that was a good one. And I think I used to follow her stuffing. She does a couple of good stuffings. One of them was a chunky one. Have you got it there in the book?
I'll find
just look up the stuffings.
I think I know the one you mean.
Yeah, I think she calls it like American stuffing or something.
Yeah, I think it is.
And that was a really good one. Oh, look.
Yeah, it's cornered.
Cornered.
You should have guessed. Yeah, that's the very chunky.
But it's really great because if you look at it, look, American turkey stuffing.
Yeah.
But it's got great stuff in it. Nuts, celery, apples, but it's all quite chunky.
Yeah, so you're not having to not a huge amount of prep by the sound of it.
No, it was a really nice one.
10 minutes.
Yeah. That was a good one.
There's the cranberry and orange relish on the same page.
Yeah. But look at these pages.
What's quite clever as well is we always say this, that one of the key things about cooking is knowing your timing. And she tells you 36 hours, the last 36 hours, what you need to be doing and when to do it. Look, Christmas Eve later, you do your stuffing. Great.
Yeah.
Relish done.
Yeah.
Before you go to bed, all that kind of stuff. I mean, the only thing this is slightly off base, but I have a bit of thing about bread sauce. I don't really, I don't get it. It's like obviously a lot of people have it and it's served, with turkey. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't think it adds a massive amount.
No.
Which I know it's probably a controversial view, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Do you know what? I don't have that in front of me, what the tradition is about bread sauce.
No, I don't. It's obviously come from using stale bread up, I assume.
Yeah, except you don't. It's not always stale bread you use.
No, but it might have been as in when it was invented.
Yeah.
But it just, to me, I just don't really get it.
I also wonder, it probably goes back to Victorian times, and you're right. And also, it was a feast. Christmas was a feast. So you did put as much probably on the table as possible. And that would have been just another dish,
I suppose it's also slightly carby. So if you couldn't get potato or whatever, you could have had that, I suppose. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, what about other traditions? You said you've been looking at things like what people have for breakfast on Christmas, like what we obviously.
Oh, not so much traditional, but I just something that struck me because there was I've been looking at these days, celebrate days, and there was one for the English breakfast at the beginning of December. But interestingly enough, I found this stat, and I'm going to give them a shout. It was the food magazine at Waitrose, but sometimes these little stats jump out at you. But they've been doing a load of research, and they said, for all the, you have your toasted panettone, your smoked salmon and scrambled eggs, and all this sort of stuff, for Christmas Day. But actually, the number one breakfast is toast. Oh. So there we go.
So nothing exciting.
Most people have toast. Apparently, up north, it's more of a tradition still to stick with cereal. Oh, okay. So there we go.
To be fair, though, I don't always have much, if anything, breakfast-wise now because I can't eat lots of big meals. I mean, we used to do it, scrambled eggs, salmon, bacon, all that kind of stuff. But now I couldn't eat that and then a few hours later eat another big
But meal. I think we've said this before, haven't we? It's really funny how when you look back, even if I look back as a child, you would have had a big breakfast. Then I would have gone to my granny's and you would have had a big turkey lunch, but at lunchtime, so at 1:30 before the Queen's speech.
Yeah. Free.
And then you maybe play games or whatever, and everyone will be washing up and stuff. And then about 6 o'clock or something, there'd be turkey and ham sandwiches and the Christmas cake and everything. Now, I would have only been little, so probably not eating. But the amount of food, you had these 3 meals on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Whereas now you're right, you and I are a bit like, oh no, we've got Christmas lunch. We can't, actually that's your one meal.
Even if we go back like 10 years, we would have had a starter, we would have had a main, pudding, cheese, all that. Now we get to sort of eat the main course and we're like, well, do we want the pudding today or should we have it tomorrow?
Yeah, you're right. Just so
I don't know what it is.
Yeah. I don't feel my waistline is getting any smaller, but I can't. The capacity I eat is much less.
It's odd, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Either.
Anyway, that's interesting.
But yeah, so as like more traditions go, we're actually pretty wide in terms of what meat we have or what we don't have. I'm not a huge turkey fan. Like, it's fine, but if I've waited all year round for one amazing meal, I don't think turkey is the most flavoursome meat. I think it needs a lot of help.
It does, I think,
I would say, a roast chicken is as nice, if not more delicious, than a huge turkey.
Yeah. Well, I think we talked about this the other day. I think the sales of turkeys definitely going down.
You did.
I said since the 1950s, it's the lowest the last couple of years of turkey sales. But I think people are going into buying the Crown or whatever. But it still said there was another stat. It's still, I think turkey is still quite popular, but there'll be 17 to 20% of people will have a chicken. And I think people probably around the wartime would have had a chicken because chickens were accessible,
more abundant,
but it was still a treat. And this is another thing we've discussed. chickens were a treat, and you did get them from the farm. They were a lot more local, whereas now, of course, they're mass produced, and we.
But also, I think it's like a waste thing. So for me, it's all well and good buying a huge turkey, but if you are a family like we are, a family of 3 pretty much at Christmas, what's the point in buying some huge turkey? We're not going to eat it.
No.
And I know you can do lots of things with it. Everyone always says, turkey curry, turkey sandwiches, all that kind of stuff. But there must become a point where you're like, please no more turkey.
Well, I think,
we've all had, people would have had Christmas parties and that's always turkey. You go to the supermarket and it's all turkey sandwiches. So I think by the time we get to Christmas Day, I think, I don't want turkey.
No wonder some people don't have it once a year.
I couldn't do it.
But I think, I have to say, occasionally though, because it is available, I know we don't have it on Christmas Day, but it is the delight if you do get it. You are somewhere and you have a beautiful turkey and you have it. It's delicious.
Yeah.
And I do occasionally buy it during the year, more like a mince. I find it nice. You can do all sorts of things with it.
Yeah.
Asian thing, curry things, all sorts of flavours you can add to it. And you just buy the mince. And of course, it's less fatty.
Yeah, it's lean, isn't it?
Yeah. And
I think turkey does have a role to play within, obviously Christmas, but other pies. It needs a lot of flavour, hence why probably a lot of Asian cuisine uses it, because you add a lot of extra flavours into the turkey.
Right. So the Marmite of veg.
Oh, I see. I love it.
Brussels sprout. So do I.
And I love Marmite. So
I do. But anyway, it was quite interesting. I thought I'd just give you some stats on the old sprout. It would have originally because it's a brassica, brassica family, and it would have been around ancient times, in Rome, Roman times, I should say. But it would have been in the Mediterranean. But it would have been more like a cabbage type thing, a small leafy green. And it wasn't until probably around the 13th century. And amazingly, it was cultivated to be more like the Brussels sprout we have today in Belgium.
Oh, God.
And they reckon that's why it was named.
The Brussels sprout.
Yeah, named after the city. Yeah.
Oh.
So that's quite interesting, isn't it? And then it didn't really come into Europe. Probably, well, I say Europe. I mean, they were part of Europe, but you're not doing
widely.
France and England, particularly, more widely into about the 18th century.
Oh, so it's quite a late thing then.
Well, yeah, but it's interesting because some of the stats I've been giving you on some of the other things we've been talking about, other ingredients, it is interesting that does seem to have been the way it is, and I think it was to do with travel.
Yeah, probably.
So by the 17, by late 17, whatever, they were doing the Grand Tour and all that sort of stuff. And so they were collecting them,
experiencing it.
yeah, bringing things in and transport and all that was,
Did you do a stat on how many Brussels sprouts are sold in the UK?
No, I didn't. Have you?
Would you like to know?
Yes, go on then.
So,
how they know exactly per Brussels sprout?
This is just an estimate. This is what I've sort of seen. So, leading up to Christmas, 750 million individual Brussels sprouts are sold in the supermarkets. I don't know.
Okay.
But actually, only half eaten. Apparently, a lot are wasted because
people
don't eat them. Yeah. So it's a bit of a shame, really.
Oh, that's terrible.
But apparently, nearly like a third of all sales of Brussels sprouts happen in literally the next 2 weeks, building up to Christmas.
Oh, we love them.
I love them. I buy them when they're not.
Well, we have them nearly in the winter because they do need a bit of a frost.
Yeah, season.
But in the winter, we probably have them every Sunday.
Yeah.
But virtually.
Yeah, and I just think they're relatively easy to prep and they taste nice.
Now, another thing I think the thing is the poor old Brussels sprout. But of course, it was the thing that everyone used to boil to death.
Yes.
And I think they really did. In the 50s and the 60s, and probably the 70s, well, definitely the 70s, they were all boiled to death. They thought they could just sit there in hot water. And of course, they go yellowy and have this horrible, horrible flavour. But but of course, now you've got all sorts of ways. I mean, you can shred them, you can raw in salads, you can turn them into a coleslaw, so that's raw as well. So sauteed with bacon and maybe some chestnuts or garlic. And I found one recipe, miso, maple syrup, lemon or butter.
Yeah.
So I thought that's interesting. I haven't actually tried that yet.
A lot of the supermarkets now do like a Brussels sprout sort of ready thing, don't they? And it's obviously got bacon and chestnuts and whatever large ones in it. So I think it's quite versatile. And also the other thing, don't forget, if you've got some left over, whiz them up in your bubble and squeak.
I love bubble and squeak. It's not the same if you don't have Swede in it or Brussels.
Yeah, you need that kind of slightly, what's the word? Like slightly bitter, I would say, after, because that's what they are slightly.
Well, I think that's the iron flavour you need. When you have a roast, you need that balance of something green and slightly irony and earthy with maybe the sweetness if you've got a potato or a carrot or something. And then it lends itself really nicely to whatever protein you've got and gravy and stuff like that.
Cranberry relish.
Your cranberry relish, exactly.
But we've had quite a busy, December is a busy month for us anyway, isn't it? Not just for Christmas.
Well, because you've got your birthday.
Had my birthday. So I've had lots of different treats. But we had a lovely way. We had gammon. That was delicious.
Oh, yes.
And you made the marzipan muffins.
Oh, I did.
With cherries. And they was delicious.
Blueberries.
Blueberries, sorry.
That's right.
I'm trying to remember. I think I had the last one.
Do you know what? I think that was a good food recipe. I need to do that because I found that because I know you love marzipan, and I was thinking, well, what can we do that's not one enormous cake? And I can't remember the last time I made a muffin. I mean, as you know, I was slightly challenged because when you put chunks of marzipan in a cake, of course, when it says put the knife in to check that they're done, you're actually getting the damp marzipan, but they were good, weren't they?
They were delicious.
And you just sprinkled the blueberries on the top.
Oh.
That's all you did. You just put fresh blueberries on the top.
And it just rose.
Bake them and it just sort of, they all
delicious.
go.
I thought they were yummy.
Yeah.
Really inspired. But yes, we've done that. And then we had a trip up to Windsor Castle.
We did. That was amazing, wasn't it?
Really good. Yeah, we had a lovely, crisp, sunny day most of the way.
Yeah.
But I hadn't been for many, probably 20 years. So it was amazing to see.
I think, Charlie, it was longer than that since you've been.
Yeah.
You would have been a child like me, which is even longer ago, of course. But to go round now and see it. So this was the thing, wasn't it, we found? Is in a way, it's slightly overwhelming because the history is unbelievable. And
the amount of things to look at.
And we were walking in a room that, like a day before, they'd had a state banquet for the German Prime Minister or President. Yeah,
it was literally the day after the German President's state visit. So there was obviously still a lot of the flags were still up.
I know
on the drive up. So it was incredible. And just what a place. I think it's the largest inhabited castle or oldest inhabited castle. I can't remember, but it's spectacular.
Oh, and do you think you only see a small bit, really?
And so well organised.
The staterooms were just phenomenal.
Yeah, and some of the armaments, all those swords and muskets and things like that.
I mean, absolutely incredible. I think the big thing for me, the emotional bit, was when you went to St George's Chapel.
Oh, and we saw
where the Queen and Prince Philip were rested, and that was very emotional. And also, it's so steeped in history with all the knights. What were they? The plaques on the wall, and
then their flags.
I know, and that lady showed us up to.
Oh, we had a lovely
Prince
lady.
Williams.
She said one of the newest knights, so we had to.
He was actually the 1000th knight.
Yeah. But the plaques are having to get smaller because they're running out of room on the wall.
His wasn't that small, though.
No, but that's what she said.
But we were in the choir area, and, it's all pretty, you walk through, that's fine, but she actually opened the gates, and we go up to, where the royals sit when it's on, and that was just amazing, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, it's incredible. And obviously, it is a working castle, so there's people, working, and actually, in the time we were there, the flag changed, so the king wasn't in residence, and then when we were leaving, standing.
Oh, you loved that bit, didn't you?
Yeah. Charles for Charles, that's what I'm thinking.
I
thought it was part of the birthday treat.
Yes, your standard was flying over Windsor Castle.
So that was wonderful. It was. But then so that's been that was the start of December.
Well, I always felt like I always feel like really Christmas should start after you've had your birthday, because otherwise it all kind of gets merges. But we've always laughed, haven't we? Because if we go out, we go somewhere rather nice, choose a restaurant or something for a nice lunch, and we go, and of course the first thing they've already got the festive menu on.
I have to say, it's a bit of a bugbear for me. I don't want the festive menu.
No, but we quite often don't have the festive menu.
I know, but it's like everywhere I book, they go, oh, by the way, it's the festive. Anyway.
Yeah.
But no, it's been good. But now we're gearing up again to something else that is suddenly here.
Oh gosh!
Next week,
literally.
So we are. We've actually got minimal Christmas decorations this year because we're not going to be here. We're off to Portugal, so we are in the throes of packing and sort of preparing. We are taking some foodie things, as in things we might need when we're out there in terms of cooking and stuff.
I think we're going to make it pretty Christmassy when we're out there. We've got a case full of baubles, advent calendars, and
very nice. So we are taking those sort of things.
And we do know we're going to go pretty much with what they've got. We want to make it like traditional, but Portuguese traditional, European traditional. So we are kind of got things in our mind what we're going to cook, but we don't think Brussels sprouts will probably be on the menu this year.
Might not be.
No, but we are going to do what they've got there, and which I'm really looking forward to doing that, actually. And we're going to do it on Christmas Eve. And all that kind of stuff. So that should be fun. Yeah,
no, I'm really looking forward to it. And hopefully, we have a half decent weather. And obviously, we are staying near Oreo's market. So that's a big food market. And there's one in Lule as well, which is another big food market. So we'll definitely be doing bits from there, hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
We might try and do some outside recordings, we said.
Yes, we are. No. We will be taking our microphones. We're going to be doing a podcast while we're out there and doing some videoing and all that kind of thing. So that should be fun. We'll get that up on our YouTube channel.
Packed the Marmite just in case. If someone wants toast in the morning.
No, but we also said, now Marmite and Bovril, of course, are great for colouring gravies and things. Or adding a bit of, salt. If you want that yeasty, a teaspoon of Marmite stirred into a sauce or casserole or something like that works really well. So that's one of the other reasons really we're taking it, not because we sit there eating loads of toast with Marmite on it. But, Well,
I've got into the Christmas spirit already. So here, do you want the...
Oh, yes.
Some crackers.
Some crackers.
A cracker.
All right. Feliz Natal.
Feliz Natal. I don't know if we get a joke in here.
Oh,
we have got jokes.
I love the little robins on them.
They have a very funny toy.
I haven't got an orange hat.
What colour's yours?
My favourite colour. Oh, no, it's all right. It's a yellow one.
I've got blue, which I'm happy with.
It's a yellow one. Have we got a joke?
I have got a joke. Would you like to hear it?
Oh, God, I can't read mine.
What is Santa's favourite sport?
I don't know. What is Santa's favourite sport?
The North Pole Vault.
Oh, Christ.
Yeah, no.
Okay. What do you call a couple of spiders who just got married?
Cobweb.
Newlyweds.
Oh, newlyweds.
At least you had a go at it.
Quite nearly that. Anyway, I thought that would go through the festive spirit.
Oh, Charles, and you've got a little look. You've got a colour that in.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's Christmas crackers. But yeah, but it's all been, so we're sort of gearing up for our trip now.
I know. Oh, listen, I wanted to say to you this. So I was going down through the Christmas market, as I just mentioned earlier, and there was a stand there called, you're going to laugh at this, Magical Meads. Right, okay. And he's called the Arcane Alchemist, and he's down in Havant, and he makes mead.
Oh, wow.
So mead is basically wine fortified with honey.
Yeah.
So it's not quite like a Madeira. It's not like that kind of thing, but it's much sweeter. And of course, it was something that was quite medieval. They used to sweeten wine, didn't they? Because it was probably more drinkable then. And he makes his mead, Charlie. But guess what? His blackberry one.
Oh yeah.
It's got 2 Great Taste Awards.
Oh, that's good.
Or stars.
Amazing.
Sorry.
Yeah,
and I said to him, my son's a judge on that. He went, is he? And I said, yes. I said, to get 2 stars is amazing.
It is really good.
He said, oh, yes, only, and he quoted something like, oh, yes, only 10%.
Yeah,
2 stars.
Really,
or get a star even.
Well, yeah, I don't think obviously there's something like 14 or 15,000 different products go through. So it's a big, not many will get a star or a 2-star. And obviously you can get 3, which is incredible, but it's pretty low.
Now, I have to say, I took his card. I didn't buy any because I did taste it. It's very sweet, and I wasn't quite sure. For me, it was probably something you might cook with. I do think you could add it to like a mulled wine.
Yeah.
Or you could heat it, like that kind of thing. I think it might be better. You could add spices to it. But the friend I was with bought the blackberry one.
Okay.
And she said she thought it might be quite nice instead of a pudding wine.
Oh, yeah. That's
so I don't know if she's going to gift it or try it over Christmas.
Yeah, I get that, actually.
Yeah.
I would understand. Yeah, I would see that.
Anyway, I picked up his card because I thought, well, if we did suddenly want to try it.
We should.
The mead, I suddenly saw it and I thought, it actually feels very Christmas.
Yeah, no, it is. Especially those kind of things.
Yeah.
And it also feels quite old-fashioned, though, 'cause it's the sort of thing you might have a little glass, like a sherry, you might have a glass of mead.
Yeah.
Shows a bit of smartling.
Yeah.
Going back to that.
I started thinking of, sort of, in the middle of a field somewhere, celebrating Christmas, and they get out the mead, the hot mead or something. Yeah.
Yeah, hot might be nice.
Yeah, I think it might be quite nice.
But yeah, so we are off. We will be doing lots of cooking and videos and bits and bobs from Portugal. So just remind us, you're going to make their national Roy.
Yeah, Bol Roy.
And which is like this sort of, it's called, translates to the king's cake. So it's full of, it's more of, it's a bread cake, as in it's got yeast and things in it.
Yeah.
And obviously you've got all your, soaked fruits and nuts and all sorts in it.
So we could be toasting that for breakfast.
Yeah. With Marmite on it. But yeah. So we do
a glass of mead. Oh God.
But I'm sure they have they do have their own kind of liqueurs. One of them is pretty potent. It's called gingash, I think it is. But it's like, I think it's cherry or raspberry. I think it's cherry. And it's pretty potent stuff. And you sometimes get it in a chocolate, so little cups, like shot glasses, but they're made of chocolate. So you do the kind of shot and then you do the chocolate chaser.
Oh God, so that's like a chocolate liqueur.
Yeah. But it's not. It's the liqueur is cherry.
No, I know.
And then you do the.
But when you eat it with the chocolate, it'd be like having a chocolate
Moscato in your mouth. Yeah, but it's pretty potent stuff.
God.
So.
We'll have fun.
Yeah, but anyway, we've got to finish packing. So yeah, the next pod will be we'll do it from Portugal.
Yeah,
Christmas.
And there we are, and that's our first one.
Yeah, for the new series.
3, yeah.
So.
Wow.
Only leaves for us to say,
keep relishing life.